Hey everyone, so in this video we are going to understand what really is a breaker, the key fundamental lower time frame concept that we use to generate trade ideas, and we'll see eventually later on in the video how we connect them to the higher time frame ideas. I want you to focus your attention to this part of the price. I'll delete this yellow circle. And now think about what you see here. What I see here is something very interesting. There was a fractal high here. There was a fractal high here. That means there was lots of liquidity getting generated here. Then price did a sudden movement up and then a complete breakdown below. What this does in the market is a shift of market structure, which is very clearly visible on the line chart. We remember we said there was liquidity here, equal highs from our previous videos. Price did a sudden movement up, faked out all of these sellers who were trying to sell here, and then there were lots of limit orders here that when activated immediately caused a sudden displacement in the market. You can think of it as a big elephant stepping into a child's swimming pool. Going back to the candlestick chart, what I'm interested in is, let me zoom in so that you can see clearly, and let's stop the price here. So this is our equal highs that we just talked about, and then this green box, let me expand it, this one, this the pivot crossover, remember from the first video, this pivot crossover went up to sweep liquidity and then caused a sudden breakdown in market structure, which is from here. It broke down structure from here. It even broke down structure from here and here. So it's a significant event in the market that's had happened. What we are interested in is now this section of price, because we know the price has done many things there. It has sweep liquidity, it has broken down market structure as well. And the way we draw the breaker is from the highest green box that appeared on your pivot crossover to the closing price of the highest candle that you see in the price. It is important to know that the quality of a good breaker would be that the high that you're dealing with would practically be the only high that is in the vicinity here. I'll show you examples probably that will showcase about weak breakers, but this is a very important quality that the high here has no other neighbor nearby. You can see there are no other clear highs represented by the liquidity visualizer indicator. These were the two only the highs that were visualized by the liquidity indicator that were swept by this. So from here to here we have a breaker in place. Some people call this change of market character, some people call this market structure break, but in the real technical terms this is called a breaker because this has caused a break in market structure. You can see that price was clearly going up from here, up, but here something significant happened. So this black box is going to give you your uh, the extremities of the breaker that you need to deal with. This is where your stop loss, because it's a sell, this is where your stop loss will go, and this is where you'll put your entry limit order. And let's see what happened to the price after that. Price came in, gave us a perfect entry over here, and then collapsed. And these breakers form again and again, over and over again, every time. So check this out. So the first breaker that we saw was here, right? This was the first breaker. Sorry, this was a liquidity sweep that created this breaker. How about this one? I see another liquidity sweep here, and then that means the lowest red box that was broken by price, and then price ran up after that. It happened yet again. There was a liquidity sweep here because the liquidity it swept was from here, and then the lowest red box that you see printed supported price, and then it went up. Obviously you will not trade all the breakers, you will not trade all the bullish or bearish breakers, because you have to combine them with the higher time frame concepts, but this is the essence of a breaker. Let us see if we can find, oh actually we have another breaker happen over here as well, so let me just remove this one. See how this played out. This is liquidity, equal highs, and then the price started going up from here, sweep liquidity and broke down, and then continued down from there on. This is a very powerful concept, and you will see that when you see this forming in the market, it is generally the highs and the lows, and you can mark those as tops and bottoms in the market. Another example, these were all equal highs, price swept liquidity here, and then this is the highest high. You can see what happened after that. This is a random pair I picked, SGD JPY maybe, which is an exotic or something else, I don't even know. Let me show you another example, and you can just pull up any chart, any asset, it'll just keep repeating over and over again. Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. It was swept. The last red candle probably started somewhere here, or probably it was this one, and then see how it supported the price. Even if you would have taken this one, you'd have seen how it supported the price from there on. The price hasn't reached there yet, so, but it was the bottom of this move, and then price just went up. You could have bought it anywhere in this. So this is the breaker concept. Now we don't trade all breakers forming everywhere, though you could certainly do that on just one time frame. But the fun part is that once you connect a breaker to a higher time frame concept, remember our higher time frame concepts are much simpler: order block, fair value gap, or liquidity sweep, and lower time frame is a breaker. Once you connect your higher time frame fundamentals into the lower time frame breaker, that is when you get best of the trades. So we are going to go to a new pair and let's see how this works out there. Let's take up CAD JPY. On the higher time frame, I want you to focus your attention here on this order block, and we'll see how this trade worked out. I know I'm showing a trade in hindsight. This price action is already formed, but I want to show you how powerful these concepts become once you start combining a simple order block on higher time frame and then a breaker on the lower time frame. So we're going to rewind time here. And let's draw out the order block. So this is the order block, and everything on this side hasn't happened yet. Just assume that for the sake of this example. And let's stop the time here. So this is how, when this day ended, CAD JPY would have looked here. So now focus your attention here. I'm going to zoom into this chart now. So remember, we know that this is a higher time frame reason to sell. This is a higher time frame order block. We want price to come back in, mitigate this order block, and in the process form a breaker that will give us a trading signal. Okay, let's see how this works out. So we are doing nothing right now. Price comes in. Now it has started to take the shape. Oh, it has actually formed the breaker now. So check this out. There was liquidity here, liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. Price made a sudden move up and then the sudden move down. It is very clearly visible in a line chart. So we mark this as our breaker, and then set up our risk reward, and that's where we go for a trade. Boom, 3-hour trade. So the reason we took this breaker was because there was a higher time frame reason to sell. There is no, because this is also a breaker. You could have taken this breaker as well if you were just trading breaker on one single time frame. But as I said earlier, the higher time frame gives us the context. Why should we be selling and buying the lower time frame? And then the lower time frame gives us the breaker. This was the last green box that was broken by this red box in very simple layman terms, and this is where your breaker is. It was created after all the liquidity was swept off from here. So I hope this concept of breaker is now clearly understood. Remember, we are trading a higher time frame order block, and then once that forms, we are searching for a lower time frame breaker for our signal to work properly. As usual, if you have any questions, please ask them on the Discord server. Take care. Bye.